Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Shay Ling again with another video. But today is gonna be a little more okay, so I'm gonna start by really describing me and my mom's relationship. So I literally grew up raised by my Mima, which is my mom's mom, and my mom. So it was either I was living with both of them, or I was living with my Mima, or I was living with my mom. So my whole life has really been between them two. They have, really been the people who raised me. I'm not saying my dad didn't raise me, but yeah, those were just the main people. So, my mom was young. My mom had me at 19, so it was more like my Mima was our mom, and me and my mom was more like sisters, best friends. We argued like sisters. We shared things like sisters. So that was literally like my sister. So when it came to, the mommy daughter relationship, it was kind of because we were so used to the sisters, best friends relationship. So, we argued, we did our dues, but the love never was wiped away. You feel me? So that was really me and my mom's relationship. I was the only child, so I was really attached to my mom. I was the only child until my brother's about 6, so I was the only child for a very, very long time, as you can tell. So I was really attached to my mom. I didn't really hang out with a lot of kids when I was younger. I always was around my mom. I used to be at the cookout sitting next to my mom. I was never the child to be with the kids. I was always the child to be with my mom. All right, so we just going to get right into the day that everything really happened. It was July 4th, 2020, so it was just last year. Her 1 year death anniversary just passed. So July 4th, I remember her birthday was July 7th, so she had called us. She was up north. She was in Newark, New Jersey. That's where we're from. That's where I was born. That's where she was born and raised. I was raised somewhere else in Jersey. So basically, she was up north, so she had called us, and it was like early afternoon, midday. She had called us, and she was just in the car, and she was gassing. Like, we was gassing on the phone. I'm like, you mad how you got your braids done? Because she usually go, get her braids in Newark and stuff. So I'm like, you like this how you got your braids? And she just was gassing. Like, we on the phone, she dancing, and I'm, singing happy, the birthday. What's that song? One time for the birthday. And her birthday was coming up. So we was just gassing her. It was me, my. We was in the kitchen and just gassing her. So I have a little brother. My little brother was not actually home. She had took him up north with her, and he was at his father's house. But my mom was actually parked in front of my aunt's house, my Aunt Camille, and when she was on the phone with me. So we got off the phone, and about 30 minutes later, mind you, at this time, I was a mentor for Forex or whatever, so I was actually doing a call, and this was literally like 30, 25 minutes right after we got off the phone, okay? And my Mima, I was doing a training. I was doing a basics call training, and I was literally in the middle of the training, like literally the middle. Like, I was right just really getting started, and my Mima comes and knocks on my door, and she's like, Shalea, I think we gotta go up north. And I'm like, all right, Mima, hold on, I'm on a training or whatever. So I just, continue or whatever. And she comes back like 2 seconds later. She's like, I think it's an emergency. I think we really have to go. So at this moment, she said it was something with my mom. So I'm like, y'all just give me 1 second. And I just had paused the basics call. I called my friend Nini. And I'm like, Nini, can you please finish this? At that time, Nini was my mentor. So, she could pick up where I left off, basically. So I called her. I told her something was wrong with my mom. So, she hopped on the call. Boom. So, I get dressed, and Mima get dressed. And, literally in, 5 seconds, we were in the car. So, we kind of don't know we don't. We don't know anything that's going on. We just know that one of my aunts said that, it was a bad accident and we just have to hurry up here. And I understood why she did that, for the simple fact that you don't want to tell someone something crazy that happened while they're driving, just because of, safety. Emotions are running, crying, driving, trying to get up there. So I understood her tactic of, keeping things so that it's urgent, but it's not, crazy where it's like we can't even get up there because we're so emotional. But then we had got another call on our way up there that had basically said like, hey, have you guys spoke to anyone? Kia got shot. So once I heard that, I just remember dropping my phone, and I was in the passenger seat because I already have anxiety. And once I knew something was wrong with my mom, like I was so all over the place. My nerves were just bad because it's like I don't know what's going on. I'm thinking about all the worst scenarios in my head. But my mom being shot was never one of the scenarios in my head. And it's like, once I heard that, it's like, I'm like, huh? Like, really, like, I just dropped my phone and I just remember breaking down and shaking. Like, bro, I was having a panic attack in that car. And my Mima, it's like, it's crazy because in the car, my Mima had no reactions. Like, when like someone is so like, bro, it's like she was just driving with like the most serious face, but you could see the tears like building up in her eyes, but her not letting them fall. Like, that's the type of time it was. And it's like the whole car ride, we were just quiet. And then it's like the detective started calling our phones, and they asking us questions and all this stuff, and we just like how serious is this? And it's like they wouldn't give us any real information until we got there. And again, I say I understand why they did what they did. It was like the perfect tactic, because I feel like if we heard what really went down, we would not have been able to get up there safely because of all the emotions that was happening. So where it happened was about an hour away. So we finally got up there and we pull up. We got there. All I remember really was a whole bunch of people standing in front of the corner store, and the street was blocked off, and they had like it was just mad detectives. It was mad like cop cars. It was like when they have like the big truck to like put the deceased bodies in and stuff. Like, they had all of that out there or whatever. So when me and my Mima walked up, all I remember was seeing all my mom's friends. And it's like all of them had like a ghosted look on their face, like as if like things are bad. Like, they all just was crying and they was just looking at us. And it's like none of them said a word. They just was coming towards us like to comfort us, but we're still confused. So all I remember is hearing my Mima say, "Detective, just tell me my baby's not gone. Just tell me my baby's not gone." And all I remember is I'm literally like looking at him, crying, ready for him to tell me that, she's okay, she's on her way to the hospital or something like that. But he literally just shook his head with like a sad, not wanting to tell us type of look. And he basically shook his head, yes. And after that, oh my God, I remember dropping to the ground, like, and when I I don't know if I blacked out, I don't know what it was, but when I finally like popped back, I was like on the ground. My mom friends was just holding me. I'm just crying, screaming, my mom, give me my mom back. Who took my mom from me? I was literally just screaming it, like all the emotions was just coming out at this moment. And they was trying to pick me up to put me in a car because it was so hot that day. And I was just sweating. I was just crying. I was just screaming. My Mima, she about to pass out. They're holding her. She's just screaming, "My baby, my baby, my baby." So they finally got us in the car. I'm like, when I say I'm historically crying, like I'm screaming. They're trying to put water. I'm like throwing up. I'm like, I never been at a crime scene, and to know that your mom is out there like laying there, but she's not alive and she's not going to come back home with you. Just knowing all that, I feel was just a lot for me. I've never been to a crime scene, and for my first crime scene to be my mom, I feel like it was just a lot on me. And the moment that it happened, I just called my dad. I called my dad. He was actually, I think, asleep or working. So I called him about 1,000 times. I'm not even gonna cap. And then finally, I think he was asleep. And finally, he had called me. But before that, the day of, they were actually having a cookout for my mom's birthday. They had it set up. My aunt Deli had cooked. Everybody cooked. My Tootie, everybody had cooked. The party was ready. The DJ was there. Everything was set up. So they took me over there just to get something in my stomach because I didn't eat all day. And I couldn't eat. I was just so sad. Everyone was just, around me. My Aunt Camille was really going through it. My Aunt Camille's my mom's best friend. She's basically like my aunt. She's like another mother for real. She was the one who, tried to, pull my mom out the car, tried to really save my mom's life. Friend forever, Nehemia. Like, that's really my sis. I called her and I just told her, like, I was crying, I was screaming. I'm like, Nene, my mom is gone. My mom is gone. And she just started praying over me. Like, and when I tell you, like, I really appreciate her to this day because, like, that prayer, it kind of knocked me back into sense because it's like, all right, so what am I about to do right now at this moment to make sure my Mima's good? So automatically after I got that prayer, I just wiped my eyes and I went to my Mima and I just hugged her. I just hugged her and I told her, I'm going to be here forever. Like, it's really us, like, against the world. Like, and she was just crying. And my Mima, she has a lot of heart issues and stuff. So she started, like, feeling like, real drowsy and stuff. So I ran to the ambulance. I told them to come over there and pick my Mima up. So I drove to the hospital behind the cops and stuff, taking my Mima to the hospital. And when I got there, I just called like a couple of the closest people to me because I didn't get in touch with my dad yet at the hospital. I'm just sitting there. I didn't get in touch with my dad, so I'm just calling the people closest to me. I remember I called my best friend Ajay. I called my old friend Jordan. I called my friend Claude. I called the people that was the closest to me just to, like, because everyone loved my mom. Like, my mom was a really lovable person. Everybody loved her. She treated everybody like her own child. And I feel like everybody felt that when she passed away. Like, everybody felt it. And to this day, people still say, like, yo, your mom really was the realest. Like, and she really was. No cap. But basically, I finally got in touch with my dad. And we finally, I finally told him. He was, really upset. And I told my brother's dad. He was really upset. And that was that. So basically, my mother was basically shot and killed in Newark on July 4th. I feel like that was honestly the most traumatic thing that I have ever went through. Like, once my mom passed away, it honestly felt like my heart was just ripped out of my chest and just, like, blended up in a machine. Because it's like, my mom, that honestly was, like, when I really, like, look at it, it's like, that was really my best friend. Like, I was able to, tell her anything without being judged, without, that was really my best friend. And, once you lose that one person, it's like, damn, bro. It's like, and even to this day, when things happen, I try to call my mom, but I can't call my mom. And, a lot of times it's really hard. It's really hard. Like, I'm still very upset. I'm still very angry that, my mom's life was taken from her at such a young age. It's something that I'm still going through. So that's why I'm even making this video, because, when people hit me up and they basically was just asking me, like, how do you stay motivated? How do you keep these businesses running? How do you keep doing what you're doing? Like, how do you keep yourself happy? I'm like, I literally have to make this video. Like, me, I'm not the strongest person in the world, but I have to sometimes pat myself on the back, because it's like losing my mom taught me a lot. And it honestly, like, the way I look at it now is like everything happens for a reason. And I just feel like what happened, it helped me grow as a person, like mentally, so much mentally, because I've never been through something so traumatic. So it's like I had to learn and grow through this on my own, basically. Like, and I just want tip number one: don't don't make yourself emotionally unavailable to people who really care for you. Like, me, the whole process of healing with my mom's death, I didn't really vent a lot. My friends could even tell you, like, I'm big on I'm okay, I'm big on I'm fine. But when you're going through things like that, you can't just always say you're fine. Like, shout out to my friends that really understand that I'm fine isn't, don't stop there. Like, if your friend says they're fine, don't stop there if you know something's really wrong with them. There was many times that, I was at an event for Forex or whatever, and it's like, I look at Nene one way, she know, like, let's go to the bathroom. And I'll just break down crying. I remember we went to this lock-in in Florida, and child, I was just crying. Like, we in the bathroom, she praying over me, she hugging me, and I'm just crying. Shout out to Nene, shout out to Naja. Like, I remember one day, I'm crying, and I'm in a car one night, and I'm just breaking down, and I don't know why. So I text Naja. Naja called me. She's praying for me, just giving me everything that I needed to literally hear. Shout out to Xavier. Like, these are just people that I could think of real quick. Like, shout out to Xavier. Like, I have so many people who were there for me, and I just didn't allow them to be. But I'm happy I did, because it helped me in so many different ways. Me and Xavier, I went to a lock-in not too long ago, and Xavier, like, he just knows. Like, he could literally read you and know what you're feeling. Like, and we had a real deep conversation in that small bathroom, and I'm just crying to him because I didn't allow myself to be emotionally available. So all of this stuff was just building up in me. Like, guilt was building up in me. I was making myself feel guilty for what happened to my mom, because it's like I was just on the phone with her 20 minutes ago before it happened. And it's like, why didn't I tell her to get out the car? But then it's like, that had nothing to do with you. Like, you could not have controlled that. And that's something that I had to put in my head. So I feel like step number one is allowing yourself to get the help that you need. Like, if you just lost anyone that was there to you, you have to understand that it's traumatic. It's something traumatic that you are going through, and you need help. Because if you don't get the help, it's like you're going to just keep piling on, and one day you're going to burst. And you don't want to burst, because them bursts may be more severe than what you think. So if someone is trying to be there for you, just allow them to be there for you. Number two, definitely find something that you could put your hurt into. Like, find something that you could put all your hurt into. And I feel like for me, getting money. My mom was a true hustler. So, like, for me, these businesses that I'm opening, these things that I'm doing, all of the hard work that I'm putting in is literally where all of my hurt is going to, is where all of my pain is going to, because I feel like that's the best way. Put it into your art, put it into your craft, so that all of that pain is going to be something so beautiful one day, and whoever you lost, they're going to be super proud of you for even being that strong. Number three is definitely, like, self-care. I feel like for me, I was brushing off and trying to avoid the fact, and when I finally faced the fact that my mom was gone, it was the hardest pill to swallow, but it was the best thing I have ever done. When I really realized, like, yo, my mom is gone. Like, when I just kept going into her room, and I would just lay in her bed, I would just smell her sheets, and it's just like, my mom is really gone. Like, and it's like, still to this day, it still feels really new, and it feels really, like, crazy. But it's like, you have to accept the fact that, it happened. And once you accept the fact that it happened, it will help you begin your healing process. In your healing process, you cannot depend on other people to help you heal. You have to depend on yourself. All of that healing has to come through you. So you have to find your way of coping through everything that you're going through. My ways is taking pictures of flowers. My way is painting. My ways is having energy, good vibes around me. So I feel like, finding a way to heal yourself. Just find your thing. If it's meditation, if it's listening to music, if it's affirmations, whatever it is, just make sure that you find something to keep you sane within. Understand that you have a purpose. Understand that whatever has happened to you, now I'm speaking to anybody, whatever has happened to you, whatever you are going through, is honestly just your why to just keep going. Like, a lot of times when I'm going through stuff, I just think small of like, what's all my small whys and what's all my big whys. And I just, keep saying it to myself, like, you want to be out of this predicament by next year. You want to have this by next year. You want to be able to do this for me and my brother by next year. You feel me? I want to, it's wise. Them whys are going to get you so far. Like, it's going to amaze you. It's going to truly amaze you. That's really it all. Through this, I'm really thankful for anybody who was ever there for me. Through this, I'm really proud of myself for the way that I carried this. Through this, I have grown a lot. And I honestly have to say, like, really thank you to anyone who was ever there for me. Like, honestly, like, y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know. I hope that this video has helped someone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And thank you. I'll catch you guys on the next video.